last day in Campeche, Mexico, headed to Merida, Mexico, in an hour or so. Just finished my run. I had some thoughts on the paradox of a guru. And so a guru who is trying to lead the listener to a space that the mind exists in that is free of suffering, uses words, and the listener has a mind, and the mind's job is to protect the listener from bad choices in life. And so the paradox really is that the listener is trusting a speaker about a place they haven't been yet that's better than where they are. And yet they've been taught their whole life that they need proof of, they've been taught their whole life not to believe strangers. And so the mind is most attentive when it's listening to a stranger. And so therein lies the paradox. You have someone who's trying to show the listener the space around the mind where there's freedom from suffering, or describe it in ways, it's experiential, so you can't, it's not definitional. You can't use words to describe it. So the speaker is trying to describe something that allows the listener to experience space around the mind, or awareness that is deeper than the mind's filtering of all perception. And the listener is trying to parse every word, not the listener, but the listener's mind is trying to parse. I think it's funny when dogs do the howling thing. That part, I love that. And the listener's trying to parse every word that the guru says to figure out in advance what path the guru is trying to bilk them out of their mind, or their savings, or their the listener's trying not to get conned, so they're parsing every word the guru says, even when their great amount of trust builds up. And so interesting. I'm just thinking this through. So that may be why the gurus who had nothing to gain meaning no tithing, no donations, no Cadillacs or Rolls Royces. Have, forgive the word, ministries that survive them. In other words, a spiritual teacher who is charismatic may be able to talk you out of your savings during their lifetime. But when they die, that ministry is unlikely, maybe less likely to survive them. No research, just an inference that I'm having here. So, but the paradox is that the listener can't listen and the speaker can't speak words that create experience. So the point of this is that that you have to take, you have to understand your mind is parsing what someone is saying, and that when they stop talking, and your mind isn't so busy parsing everything they say, then there's a trustworthy observation that can happen about what the guru described when they were speaking. Once you've parsed the words and found out which ones are safe. So I suppose what I'm getting at is it's really it's when the guru stops talking and you play with the ideas, that the mind's not quite as busy, and I wouldn't say it would be more successful, because there's lots of examples where it's when the mind is most busy and in the most pain, when people are able to awaken in awareness, or find the grace of awareness, or be in the space around their mind. Be in the everything that the mind has no capacity to comprehend all at once, and have the suffering drift away. So no rules here, just observation about the paradox of the guru and the student or listener, and their intentions and activity in the process of attempted enlightenment. I don't know if if it helps anything, but thought I'd share it. It's Dan here. Hope you're here. Have a great day. Bye.